Ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to discuss today is this was brought to my attention, our attention by the homie AJ over at What We Gonna Do Pod, and that's Gone. He finally came out of retirement, reappeared, showed his head again, and so we're let me just read it. If the city or state awards a settlement to the family for wrongful death, is that not an admission of guilt? Because the state could fight the lawsuit, right, and be acquitted. Why would the city or state settle if the parties involved are acquitted in the first place? Hopefully that makes sense, because when we see the acquittal, then we see the wrongful death suit, and then we see a settlement at some point. Just think about officer involved shootings where the officers were acquitted, but the city settled. Is that not an admission of guilt?
Okay, is pleading the fifth an admission of guilt?
No, pleading the fifth is FIF. That means that you will not say anything that may incriminate yourself.
Okay, so you're actually talking, or we're delving into two different systems. When officer involved shootings, since that's what the question asked about, when there are officer involved shootings, what the district attorney or the state's attorney or whomever, what they are trying those officers for is something criminal. Whether or not you broke the law, criminal. When you talk about wrongful death suits, that's civil. Whether or not you did something negligent. Negligence is not necessarily criminal, even though negligence can lead to something criminal, but it's two different spheres, and it's two different standards of evidence. Well, two different standards. You can be found guilty criminally if the evidence shows beyond a reasonable doubt that you have committed this act. In the civil theater, in the civil court, civil law, there's a lower standard. The standard is preponderance of evidence. So let's talk about OJ.
The preponderance of evidence basically means
more likely than not.
Reasonably, okay.
It's more likely that this was the cause of that than not.
Okay.
So beyond a reasonable doubt is basically a reasonable man looking at this. Would they say that yes? Like, no doubt in your mind, boop, yep. So look at OJ Simpson. OJ Simpson got off. They said, nope, didn't kill Ron. Didn't kill, what's his
Nicole.
wife? Nicole, right? Didn't kill Ron, didn't kill Nicole. But then they went to civil court and they got a judgment for wrongful death for Ron and Nicole.
What was the settlement? I can look it up. I think it was like,
it was a lot of money.
$3 million or something?
No, I think it was more than that, because at the end of the day, the only thing they hadn't taken, or the only thing that was left, was like trust funds for his children. Like, they literally got him out of all kinds of money.
$70 million.
And so, like I said, at the end of the day, the only thing the dude had left, his children's trust funds. They couldn't touch that. But most everything else, like, it was either sold or whatever to satisfy the judgment.
And then he tried to steal some of his shit back and then sell it again. Right. Yo, while we're on OJ, let's go around the room real quick. I want to start with you, Becky, because you've been kind of quiet.
Here we go.
And I love polling people with this question. Do you think OJ Simpson actually murdered? I don't like to say, do you think he was guilty? Because people like Anna be like, well, he was found not guilty. Do you think he murdered Nicole and Ron Goldman?
Probably.
Okay, and what leads you to believe that?
Since the investigators did a poor job of collecting and categorizing and keeping track of evidence that may have supported that OJ did it.
You can't see her eyes. Her eyes is like going off. What do I do?
I know what to do. I gotta speak.
It's okay. Take your time.
No,
It's like a testimony at church. Just take your time.
Can we move on to AN, please? Because I don't remember what I was saying.
You were saying how later on, after Anne leaves, you are going to.
Is that what she was saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
And do you believe OJ murdered Nicole and Ron Goldman?
The glove didn't fit. They must have quit.
I just need a yes or no.
No.
Okay. I believe that he did it.
What brings you to that conclusion?
I'll just use Becky's line of reasoning.
Oh, so there was no reason.
Well, she said something. I don't.
that was never. Man,
I believe he did do it because I believe that he was a lot of.
That's heresy. That is treasonous to the black people to say that
No, it's
OJ
not.
did it.
No, it's not. And you know what? As multiple people say, black people are not monoliths. Do you know what that means, Becky?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Okay. Nah, but I do think he killed her. I think he was probably controlling. And first you got niggas, right? Then you got rich niggas. Then you got rich niggas with rich white friends, right? OJ
then you got rich niggas with rich niggas with white wives.
White bitches. Rich niggas with rich white friends with white wives. That's what OJ was. He was in that league. And I don't know. I think he was controlling like 100% because a lot of the stories you hear about him, like grabbing her by her crotch in a restaurant saying this belongs to me. And now, whether that's true or not, there's been numerous stories, kind of like Michael Jackson and the Little Boys, or like Bill Cosby and drugging women. So there's been so many reports. So I do believe that he was probably controlling. He was probably a loose cannon. And it's always those nice people, those super nice, ha ha ha, everyone loves them people that are usually violent. They're not violent, but aggressive, maybe, should I say?
All right, so all jokes aside, when I say no, he didn't do it, I really don't think that he did it himself. I do, though, think that he had someone kill them. I think that, for all intents and purposes, according to all the reports, she was cheating on him. Well, that's what he thought.
But they were separated, right?
Right. She was cheating on him with Ron. So I think that when she left, he had her under surveillance.
Mm-hmm.
So I am willing to say that he may not have done it himself, but he definitely had them murdered.
Interesting. And we would like to hear, if you're listening, tweet us. Let us know what you think. Did OJ murder Nicole and Ron?
Or did he have something to do with the murder of...
And then that whole If I Did It special, did you watch that?
Yeah, I did.
What was the dude's name he said? Now I can't even remember. It's like, but yeah, I'm going to make up the name now. But Gary had the knife. And Gary told me, like, nigga, who the fuck is Gary? And why are you talking like Gary is real?
Because Gary is real.
Man.
Gary is real.
So anyway, back to the settlements. So he did a $70 million settlement, even though he was found innocent of the criminal.
He was acquitted. So they cannot say beyond a reasonable doubt that he murdered them. So Johnny Cochran and Shapiro, that legal team, the dream team, put enough doubt in the minds of the jury that they cannot say 100%